The worst feeling is not being alone. It's being surrounded by people who make you feel lonely. That was the quote and internal struggle of comedian and actor Robin Williams. When Robin Williams passed away in 2014, I remember like it was yesterday. I was on a trip to Minnesota with my family. I was 9 years old. I woke up at like 5 a.m. We were in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. My dad turned on the radio to listen to music. During the commercials, the DJ announced that actor and comedian Robin Williams passed away from suicide. Well, I had no idea what suicide was. Robin was the first celebrity that I was aware of that actually hurt me when he died. For some people, that has been many celebrities that they grew up with, that they built memories with. And learning more in the last 12 years, what happened to him, what did he feel, he is the prime example of someone who uses his internal suffering for good, to make art. Well, that is why I'm commemorating one of my artistic influences, Robin Williams. Of course, my first experience with Robin was in animation, either as the genie in Aladdin, Fender from Robots, a ton of penguins and Happy Feet. He always knew how to give the best performance in animation because he was a human cartoon himself. Always flexible, stretchy, can do several voice impressions, and can make a million jokes a minute. He got that from being alone, from his parents not watching him having no friends, and having to entertain himself. He built those skills that felt alien to so many people. He himself felt like an alien because he felt like he didn't understand people, which is why he was so great as Mork in the TV show Mork and Mindy. He also, throughout his adult life, had to mask his depression, his loneliness, either into drugs and alcohol in the 80s and a little bit in the 2000s, or his comedy, or his characters, which is why his character Mrs. Doubtfire, a man who has to disguise as somebody else totally different so he can be near the people he loves, was probably very easy for him. He also was one of the most nicest people in Hollywood. Everybody had something good to say about him. His kids loved him. He was always tender and always listened to others, which is why he was so great as Oh Captain, My Captain in Dead Poets Society, or as the therapist in Good Will Hunting, which won him an Academy Award. As for that tenderness, because he never got sympathy or empathy from his peers, he always felt like he had to earn it. So he always wanted to give other people a little ounce of joy that he never got to feel. That is why he started Comic Relief in the late 80s with his friends Billy Crystal, Whoopi Goldberg, to raise money to help homeless people and to maybe give them a smile or two. That is why he was always loyal to his friends, just so he can feel validated by them and so they don't have any bad feelings that he did. Which is why his friend Christopher Reeve, when he got paralyzed from a horse accident, he threw a party every anniversary just so he can feel something positive and not think about the stuff that he lost. That is a true friend. He was also did comedy for our military. When they were going through a war and losing friends in Iraq, a war that should never happen, he was there to give them a smile. But near the end of his life, he couldn't take it anymore. The baggage, the feeling to be the people pleaser all the time, it just didn't work anymore. And with a mix of that and his Lewy body dementia, which we find out later more about this disease, he took his own life. And that joy that he desperately wanted to give to others was gone. and maybe we felt an ounce of the pain that he always felt. I would love to conclude that there are many examples of comics, actors, authors who use their art to give them joy, use their darkness, their trauma to give something positive into this world, to feel like God put them there for a reason. I would love to tell Robin that he was never been missed. We did not forget you. And you are an influence to not just actors, but creatives in general, people who have had negative things in their life. And we hope you knew you were not surrounded by people who made you lonely. Thank you.